In all the dozens of moments I've spent pondering the purpose of my mortality, it has mostly always resulted from expressions of internal disruption. And of these moments, 3 come to mind vividly. The first time the animal that is my mortality was remembered was when I saw myself for the millionth time. It was nothing special. I had found myself exhausted at the state of my life. It was a daily routine of mine, a routine of doubting, crying, screaming, cursed to live out a plot of repetitive sabotage that I had been so addicted to withstanding. My mortality saw me. It sat there, watching, viewing, looking, observing, seeing, cutting, 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 cutting. And even though the emotional price was steep, I had no recollection of this moment for quite a time afterward. When it happened, when I would lose myself in my reflection, it always felt like it was happening to someone outside of me, someone who would never remember my name. But this time, I understood what it meant to play God, not because I cut my hair. No. But because I had the power to do more damage, but chose not to. And wasn't that what the idea of self-trust boiled down to? We could all do more damage, but we choose not to. Why? Punishment? Love? Acceptance? Fear? Because of our mortality? Because it was always us who had to live or die with the knowledge of what we had done? The second time the thought of my inconsequential mortality was brought forth into my mind, it was ignited by a sort of frost that threatened to coat the membrane of my existence. I'd frozen myself to put on the shoes of fear, boots that only fit when I'm determined to run away, run away, run away. Boots that grew too big when it was time to see myself, so I stayed blind to my own ambitions, with hands filled with screaming vessels of iron that lose all senses of meaning by a subtle shift in temperature, even though it didn't hurt anymore. Who was I to be the one to find an escape? Who was I to want differently? An underestimated threat to the fragile underworkings of an already exhausted mind. My mortality welcomed me like ice that melted skin to leather and suede. Turning, pulling, piercing. Cutting. Melting, 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 melting. I knew change was imminent. Even the numbing medicine of ice was not enough to keep it at bay. And the last time I questioned the curiosity that is my mortality was when I stopped glorifying the hurt and allowed myself to embrace more. I guess I had to travel far away from myself in order to find who I was. When I gave myself permission to live, life came to me. Bright, wild, foreign, free, 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 free. It spoke a language I did not understand, but somehow I grew to seek comfort in it. I grew to bask in its discovery, in its miracle, in its remembrance. The leather gave way to sand, to water, to air, to earth, to fire, to smiles, to smiles, to smiles, to music, to laughter, to love, to smiles. When I defrosted myself from the claws of fear, my mortality stopped being fed the lies of separation and began to seek communion, connection, community, to find a belonging so strong, even I could not bring it to ruin.